Alright guys, I have a question for you. When you hear the words dinosaur movie, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? I think for most of us, our brain instantly plays that T-Rex roar from Jurassic Park. And if I'm being honest here, Steven Spielberg's classic has pretty much rewired what a dinosaur blockbuster looks like in the movie industry. I mean, you have to give it to Jurassic Park for its horror moments, from a raptor stalking in the kitchen to the T-Rex attack in the rain, and all those brutal kills, from tearing apart to mauling. But nevertheless, it has not only treated dinosaurs as these terrifying creatures, but also as majestic, beautiful animals that are theme park marketable. However, we're not talking about Jurassic Park, because today we are taking a step into the other side of dino cinema, which doesn't give a damn about family friendliness or whatnot. Because in these movies, they're not attractions or majestic animals. They are predators and killers, walking disasters. For today's video, we have some rules, which means no entries at all from Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, and we will focus mostly on the dinosaurs that are straight up monsters. Here are the 5 dinosaur horror movies that actually go for scares. And trust me, not a one of them has a T-Rex in a theme park. Number 1. Carnosaur, 1993. Consider this. If Jurassic Park is this big budget, what if we bring dinosaurs back movie, then the 1993 Carnosaur is basically the same Jurassic Park idea mixed with some grimy 90s horror movie factory, where they were given strict instructions to make it as nasty as possible. The basic premise is that in a tiny desert town of Climax, Nevada, a withdrawn geneticist named Jane Tripty, working under the Unis Corporation, is experimenting with genetically modified chicken eggs that begin hatching into reptilian creatures. These creatures hatch, kill, and escape into the surrounding area. Chaos ensues as they start leaving a trail of mangled bodies, and things become even worse because of this mysterious flu-like illness, which is actually happening because of infected eggs. They carry this airborne virus that somehow impregnates women with dinosaur embryos, and all of this is part of Tripty's plan to eliminate the human race. This movie plays like this unhinged sci-fi horror with brutal night attacks and dinosaurs tearing people apart. I have to say, it's a total splatterfest. Even though the movie was released in the same year as Jurassic Park, this movie feels like Jurassic Park's evil mirror universe, because these dinos are diseased bioweapons connected to a doomsday virus. Over the years, the movie has gained its own cult reputation as Roger Corman's grimy, low-budget evil cousin to Jurassic Park. And honestly, for that time period, it is a pure exploitation of dino horror, which is why we need to add it to our list today. Number 2. The Valley of Gwangi, 1969. This 1969 movie is not your typical cowboy western, because this one obviously involves a dinosaur in it. So the premise of the movie is that a group of cowboys come across this hidden valley somewhere around Mexico, which is full of prehistoric creatures. And since the Wild West show seems to be suffering financially, they capture a fierce dinosaur whom they dub Gwangi and bring it back with them. Now they have these big plans to exploit him for show and money, but little do they know, he would escape and cause havoc everywhere. The whole horror, especially those brutal monster scenes, came alive through Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion effects. And this, by the way, was his last dinosaur-themed movie he animated. And when it comes to Gwangi, you won't see him just roaring for the camera, because he is battling and killing other prehistoric creatures, mauling humans, and rampaging through crowds with that single-minded menace that we usually see in a classic monster movie. He is this unstoppable force of nature that is stalking, crushing, and devouring anything that is in his path. But nevertheless, the final act is surprisingly tragic, as Gwangi goes up in flames in the cathedral. That's an ending no one would have expected, and it leaves us with a reminder that dragging even monsters into the spotlight to satisfy your greed usually ends in flames. Number 3. The Dinosaur Project, 2012. I am assuming that most of you are familiar with or have seen the movie The Blair Witch Project. Am I right? So, imagine the same movie, but instead of wandering around the woods for a witch, you are attacked and hunted by hungry dinosaurs. That is what the 2012 Studio Canal film, The Dinosaur Project, was all about. And the interesting thing is that it follows a found footage style storytelling approach. The film basically follows this expedition group that is venturing into the Congo to investigate creature sightings, and the team is led by a renowned explorer named Jonathan Marchant. At first you are like, what could go wrong, right? But then, just as their helicopter is heading toward the remote jungle, this swarm of strange flying creatures appears, which sends their aircraft crashing. From that point, the movie shifts toward this survival terror, and every moment after that makes you hold your breath, because anything can happen at any time. There are night attacks from creatures they have never seen before, and they are always chasing them like they are starved. Characters keep dying, and this movie really sets the dinos as the predators and humans as the prey, and you can't get away from them. If something like this happens to me, I'm very sure I will not survive in that uncertain jungle. So I'm hoping that the aircraft crash takes me out. Yeah, it's that grim, and it is constantly making you feel claustrophobic, all because of those shaky camera moments full of unseen things moving off screen. So this movie had to be on the list. Number 4. Raptor, 2001. This next movie can be compared to slasher killer type movies, except there is no masked man behind the killing. It's a hungry dinosaur. Raptor is basically a Roger Corman dinosaur horror remix, using recycled Carnosaur footage and building a new small-town monster attack story around it, and brutal animal attacks start emerging, making the whole community worried. So, Sheriff Jim Tanner and his assistant Barbara start investigating, and they find out that a former military scientist named Dr. Hyde is behind all of it, because he has been working on a project to clone dinosaurs, but the government funding was taken away. But here's the catch. Hyde is getting money from foreign sources to continue his experiments, but his experiments do not stay contained, and they start turning the town into their very own hunting ground. Raptor, as a movie, fully embraces its B-movie identity and channels that horror pretty well, because we have isolated forests, people being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and victims getting attacked and torn apart. It's all very gross, but the monster here is kind of unstoppable. I mean, the body count gets ridiculous fast, and the movie clearly wants every attack to feel like a cheap, nasty creature feature kill. But I have to say, despite using old dinosaur clips from previous movies and having a limited budget, the film keeps the attention on those suspenseful moments, thrilling scares, and the struggle to survive. Number 5. The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, 1953. This 1953 black and white movie came out long before Jurassic Park, or even before Godzilla stomped onto screens in 1954. I mean, even I didn't exist when this movie was released, but it seems that people from the 50s were already watching a dinosaur monster stomping through cities and causing panic and chaos everywhere. The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms follows a nuclear bomb test in the Arctic called Operation Experiment, which accidentally awakens this ancient carnivorous creature called Redosaurus, which has been frozen in ice for millions of years. The only person who witnessed this was physicist Tom Nesbitt, and he tries very hard to warn people about what he saw. But his story of a giant dinosaur-like beast thawed by an atomic blast sounds too wild to believe. And it was, at the very beginning, until it made its way to the east coast of North America. He's sinking ships, destroying lighthouses, and leaving destruction in his wake as he makes his way to New York City. And from then on, it becomes a full-on urban horror. The most interesting part is that this is not one of those classic monster movies where he's just trampling and killing civilians. He also has this prehistoric disease within him, which, if unleashed, will cause even more fatalities. And yes, you can feel the DNA that would later echo through kaiju cinema. But this one has a colder, nastier 1950s atomic horror flavor. I have to say that in the times when Cold War fear was at its peak, along with those apocalyptic vibes, with the dino acting as both a massive disaster and a source of sickness, this dino doomsday movie was really horror fiction dressed up in the 50s sci-fi clothing, so it had to be on the list. So yeah, Those are the 5 dino movies that don't give a damn about that childhood wonder you had around dinos. And they definitely do not come with safety rails. I think many of you will agree that from genetically modified dinosaurs to Gwangi going up in flames, to hungry dinos that chase you throughout the jungles of the Congo, to a raptor hunting you at night like a serial killer, and, last but not least, a radioactive dinosaur coming all the way from the Arctic to wreak havoc in New York City, all these dino movies prove that they can be terrifying like any demon, monster, ghost, or masked slasher. But apart from this, I want to dare you all to watch any one of these alone late at night and let me know in the comments below which one deserves a part 2. Until next time, thanks for watching.